in their pocket. And they even had a sheriff. Scientology has even gone into the sheriff's office of Los Angeles County and trained officers on Scientology techniques. I am not kidding.
That is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing. Wow.
There was a promotional
separation
piece.
of church and state. That seems unconstitutional.
I know. There's a promotional piece that was done by Scientology that has a sheriff in his full uniform talking to people about how they should clean out their bank accounts. They don't need pensions. They don't need money to go to Europe or buy big houses or whatever. They should put all their money into Scientology.
A sheriff is saying that.
Yes, an actual sheriff. Not the head sheriff, but a sheriff, right?
Like a deputy sheriff
or
something?
Yeah, like a deputy sheriff, right? And that, to appear in your uniform promoting anything is illegal. So he got called on the carpet because of that, but you've got Sheriff Baca who's offering protection.
And then I suppose, are they able to come in through the DARE program with Narconon types of things?
They have been, I just keep coming back to that Time magazine cover, the tentacles of the octopus, and their intelligence is such that, like I said, their little euphemism is, we've got it covered. That means they have an information pipeline to find out exactly what's going on before it happens. And you don't need to know anything else other than that, because intelligence is always just need to know.
I tell you what, every time we do these shows, I learn more. I think Satay said something about peeled layers of onions.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. This is just news to me. Good grief. Well, let's take another call. You could tell I'm like a newbie in this, but I am learning, so here we go. We've got another call. This one is an 830 area code. Let me see. Here it goes.
Hello, this is Chris.
Chris,
Can you
thank
hear
you
me?
for calling. Yes, we can. Thank you for calling the show.
Thank you so much for having the show. My name is Chris Eisenman. I'm calling you from Texas.
Hi, Chris. Lori. Hi, Chris.
Hello. Hey, Lori.
Hi,
I just wanted to... Hey, Satay. Just wanted to express my gratitude for all of you having the courage to speak out like that, and encourage anyone else who hasn't spoken out and that is listening to the show to just face those fears and those demons and speak out, because there's very little they can do to most of us these days. They're too busy putting out the fires.
And answering lawsuits, I would think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Now, Chris, were you a member of Scientology, or are you just an activist?
No, I'm an ex. I was in it for 24 years. My family got involved when I was around 10, and I got out in 2003. And I have to tell you that I'm one of those success stories where the wife and kids all got out.
Good.
Great.
And if anyone's wondering how you do that, you don't tell anybody you're going out. You just rearrange your life. You just live your life the way you want to. You don't have to resign. You don't have to get permission. They took your authority away from you. You just take it back and leave.
I love that story.
That is awesome. That is great. That really is. Very poignant.
Yes, sounds like good advice. Very good advice. And so, Chris, in your work, do you hear a lot of these disassociation types of stories quite a bit from men and women?
What kind of stories?
These where people are disassociated from one another, families split apart. Is that common?
Yeah, actually, my parents and my brothers, including my twin brother, disconnected from me.
Oh, it's disconnected. Okay.
Yeah. So I have heard a lot of stories like that. I know of a lot of people like that. I also know about forced abortions because they tried to convince my now ex-wife, but my wife at the time, to abort our second son, who was an amazing human being. And I shudder to think what would have happened if we had gone through with that.
Wow.
I was in the Sea Org for 5 years in what they call the Commodore's Messenger Org.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, I know all about that, and I think that again, I always tell people some of the best people I've ever known are Scientologists, because they donate their entire life, not just this lifetime, but in their head, 1 billion years to help the planet. That's pretty, gracious of them, to say the least.
That always blows my mind. 1 billion years? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That pretty much takes care of young Earth creationism, if you can sign a $6 billion contract.
I signed that contract at 16. I had no idea what 1 billion even looked like.
Right.
It was kind of mind-blowing, and it's just something you can't really factor into your thinking. You just go with it because everyone else around you is saying it's a great thing. But I can tell you that Scientologists are amazing people. It's just that they've given their power and their control to this organization, and so then they don't have to think anymore, and they just do. And, Scientology is supposed to be about getting back your self-determinism, as they call it, and I did that. I achieved that through Scientology by leaving it.
Good for you!
Yay! Very good point.
You graduated. You're an OT.
If anyone wants to become OT and get their self-determinism back, just leave.
That's right.
And you'll get your money's worth, I guarantee it.
That's right.
Oh, great story. Well, Chris, thank you very much for calling into the show and supporting
Thank you very much.
These brave women who are coming forth and saying these things. Now, we've got a 503 area code that I'm going to unmute. If I can do this fast enough, here we go.
The broadcast a couple of times.
Hello?
Yes. Hello, 503. Thank you for calling the God Discussion Show and talking with our ex-women here.
Hi, I'm calling from Oregon. And the first thing I want to say is thank you so much, Deborah, for this show and all the women that are on here. It's just really a good thing for us to get together and talk about all this. I'm a disconnected mother. I have a daughter that is in the Sea Org in California, and we've been disconnected almost 4 years.
Mm.
And like the other women said, it is very, very painful. I'm at the point now where I can't even start crying because I won't stop. I mean, it's like you have to hold yourself back. Turn the faucet off to be able to think clearly. But one thing I want to say is that I think it would be really great if all of the disconnected families and friends somehow connected with each other and put intense pressure on our government here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
They did start an investigation some time ago, human trafficking investigation, and from what I gather, it's been squashed. I'm not sure how true that is.
I think that's true. This is Claire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Claire.
Hi.
Yeah, this is Nancy, and I also have talked to people in human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, comes right back to Scientology's lobbyists and their money and their celebrities.
Yes.
Yeah. On
Yeah.
the other hand, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean it can't be started again, and it also doesn't mean there's not tremendous value in what you're saying of really exposing the true statistics of disconnection.
Yeah.
As a group. I love the idea of actually having a large group that gets together, supports each other, and gets projects going to get this done. I think that's a fabulous idea.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea, too.
When I first spoke out, and before I was disconnected from my daughter, I publicly spoke out about her lack of visits, because in their contract it is stated they get 3 weeks per year, and that never happened. And she's been in there for almost 19 years. And then we were disconnected. So at the beginning when I spoke out, I really tried to rouse people. Let's get together. Now, 4 years later, there's more and more people on board with this, and I just think it's time. We've got to get these people out of there. And, you know, they're good people. They're just in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Their hearts are in the right place, but their bodies are in the wrong place.
That's right.
So we can start some kind of projects and work together on this. I think it would just be fabulous. I'm all for that.
This is Lori. I'm all for that, too. I have a lot of family that my kids don't speak to anymore. And I'm sure they would be a part of that as well.
Oh, good. This is so great.
So the
Thank
step
you.
is, how will this be done? I mean, we will be more than happy to do whatever we can do with God discussion. So we've got a contact form, and you know, anything that we can do, or maybe the folks with Anonymous are hearing this, and maybe they can help facilitate, or I'm not quite sure how that can be done, but it sounds like a good thing. That's one of your dreams, isn't it, Satay? To almost have an underground railroad of sorts and get people together.
Yes, I think an underground railroad group would be fantastic. There is a little bit of that going on, and it would be wonderful to get funds behind it.
Yes, I agree. I'm in, whatever it takes. We just need to brainstorm together.
Anyone else have a comment on that? I'm hearing a lot of feedback from somewhere, so I'm not sure where it's coming from. Oh, it turned off. I don't know where it was coming from. Did anyone else have a comment about that?
Not me.
Okay. Well, Oregon, thank you very much for calling in to the show.
And thank you. We will get this together somehow, some way, on some forum, somehow. And I'll be in touch with a few of you through. Well, I know who most of you are. You just don't know me.
We don't need to know who you are. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you again.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, that's one of the things that I've observed, that people are very good people who are involved in this. And Satay, you had mentioned this before in one of the shows about, you know, it's good people with good intent, and they get involved in this kind of thing. And that's, I think, what's so tragic about this.
Yes, that is a big part of what's so tragic, because these wonderful people give all their time, money, energy, and have destroyed lives.
It really just an else. Okay, I'm going to reach my browser here, and then we've got a couple more callers. This next call is area code 512. Let me unmute you. Hello, 512. Thank you for
Good. This is Mark Plummer here again, and I'm ready now.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Our brave ex-women flying around with their capes have freed you.
I was just totally caught off guard, and, you know, listening to the show, I only missed about the first 10 minutes, but something Nancy Maney said that I wanted to address, and that is, first, some background. I worked in finance. I'm a C organization finance specialist. So I worked in finance for the first 6 years of my Sea Org career. And she's absolutely right when she says, you know, things about fixed prices changing later on to fixed donations. There's no such thing as a free service in Scientology.